Hey! Oh boy, let's see how this works. Let's see how this goes. We are live. Oh boy. Select go live once your streaming software starts and display it. Go live. Here we go. All right. I think we're officially live. Let's see if anyone pops up into the chat, and let's see what's going on here. Oh wow, look at that. A bunch of people on the Instagram live. Hello. How's it going? Your room is messy. Well, Mr. T, I live in a studio, so that's why. But hi everyone. This is me trying to multi-stream right now. So if I'm actually streaming from YouTube, Twitch, here on Instagram, everything all at the same time. So we're gonna see if this actually ends up looking okay. I don't know how this is all gonna play out. I've never multi-streamed before, but we're gonna be doing just a little bit of reactional, I don't know, I just wanted to hop on and watch some of these fitness YouTube videos that I always watch, and I figured it'd be cool to watch it while streaming together. So you can ask me questions and things like that too at the same time. So I don't know. I think that could be fun. Oh yeah, you guys can see my kitties. They're sleeping on the bed. Oh, let's see. Wow, you guys are. Ramen says how to lean out. Eat less calories, man. Eat less calories. That's what you got to do. How do I stop wobbling on the treadmill? Your treadmill pegs might be loose. Is the treadmill wobbling, or are you wobbling? If you're wobbling, then slow down. Slow yourself down. And just build up from there. Like your balance and coordination will build up over time. All right, I got to check here. Oh, we've got some people watching on YouTube. Awesome. Prince from YouTube says, hey, I'm 6'6" and rowing tall. Nice to hear from another tall dude. Rosa says hi. Just started rowing in January and got to 165K so far. Nice job, Prince. Way to go, man. Keep it up. That's excellent. That is awesome to hear. So let's go back to Instagram here. I've never used Instagram on the browser before. It's so crazy to even look at. And look, you can see the little pop-ups of people following too. Olivia, thanks for following. It's great. Let's see. Hi from Indonesia. Mrs. Bruno from Indonesia. How cool. Well, hello from Sacramento, California. Troy, what's up, man? JCI, thank you for saying it looks fine on IG. That's good, because what I'm looking at here does not look fine. So thank you. That's awesome. Thanks. Oh wow, we got already someone following from Twitch. I just created a Twitch channel for Training Tall, and that's from Original Diva. Thanks for the first follow on Twitch. That's awesome. I haven't streamed in like 3 years. This multi-streaming thing is crazy. The only thing I didn't set up is streaming to TikTok yet, but I'll set that up for next time. So, Carnell says multi-streamer. Oh, yeah. Ashley says, should you practice mobility every day? If you can, you absolutely should. You 1000% should if you can. MDU Crow says, love rowing. I bought my own Orange Theory rower. That's cool. Water rowers are not my personal favorite, but you know, having a rowing machine is better than not having a rowing machine. So I hope that's going well for you. Princess Rodriguez says, how tall are you? I am 6'8". So I am, or about 203, 204 centimeters. So pretty tall. I know I don't look tall on camera. People call me skinny all the time. Like I hear this crap all the time from people because no one knows what I'm like in real life, except for the people that actually know what I look like in real life. So you learn to ignore the haters that call you skinny and stuff. Whatever. But yeah, that's how tall I am. And I have tall parents too. My dad's 6'5". My mom was 5'8", 5'9". So, but my brother's pretty short, 5'10", 5'11". Genetics are weird. Thank you guys all for just saying hey and checking out. Charlotte from Hong Kong. Oh, Charlotte, it's so nice to see you. Charlotte was one of my first clients as a personal trainer way back in the day, almost like 8-9 years ago at this point. It's crazy to think about. Charlotte, thanks for saying hey, and I hope all things are great with you. Ooh, Justin, what's up, man? Justin Phillips. If you guys are into guitar at all, you need to check out Justin's page. His guitar skills and the little clips that he makes are insane. The amount of alternate tunings he uses and just these very beautiful melodies that you wouldn't even imagine could be like come out of a guitar. He does. So he is awesome, and I believe he's also a fellow Californian. So Kari says, how do you recommend handling sugar cravings? So that's a great question. So for sugar cravings, I would recommend that you eat fruit before you go into kind of binging a dessert. So if you're thinking about having like an ice cream cone, have a huge apple before the ice cream cone, and you'll be good to go. You'll realize you don't want the ice cream cone after. So eat some fruit before you go into like the sweet dessert. That will usually curb the sweet craving. So if you're constantly craving sweets though throughout the day, like every day, you probably just need to be eating more fruit in general. So bump up your servings of fruit. Are you eating 4 to 8 servings of fruit a day? If not, start there. Kim Possible says Hydro. Ah, yes, the Hydro. Hydro's an awesome machine. Especially the Hydro Wave, the new machine that came out with, the one that's smaller, lighter, and just better. The Hydro Wave is a really good redesign of the original Hydro. Miss Bruno says I'm a mountain biking cyclist. That is awesome. I've been wanting to get into mountain biking. It sounds really fun. Post McLaren's, what's up, brother? Let's see here. What is your favorite type of rower? I would say I'm equally a fan of the Concept 2 rower, the Concept 2 Row Erg, and the Averon rower for different reasons. I like the Concept 2 just because you can take it anywhere. It breaks into 2 parts. It doesn't need anything plugged in, electricity or anything like that. And it's just like a tried and true machine that's going to last you forever. And it's a pretty good price point for like it's going to last you forever. And again, it stood the test of time. It's the gold standard in the rowing industry. I like the Averon because out of all the different smart rowers that are out there, I think they do the best job with innovating as far as putting out new content, trying to create new things that engage the community. And they have a lot of different options for training. And after training people on rowing machines for the last like 7-8 years, people stop doing it because they're bored and they don't want to do it anymore. So with the Averon, I feel like you get a lot of variety. So that's why I like it there too. Or I like that machine as well. So best advice to just start with the Concept 2 with 2 inches of dust on it. You should check out my 30-minute beginner follow-along YouTube row. Type in 30-minute rowing beginner workout. You'll see my face pop up on YouTube. It's a video that's almost at 1 million views, and it's a very simple follow-along row. Do that a couple times a week, and you'll be motivated to keep going, I think. So give that a shot. OTF benchmark you could invent on your own. That's from Terry McShane. Oh, boy. I don't know about that, actually. I like the benchmarks we have at Orange Theory. I don't think I would change any of them or add another one, if I'm being honest. Ji Vong Do says, you are my rowing hero. Thanks, man. That means a lot. I'm glad you enjoy the rowing content. Sebastian over on YouTube says, your video about rowing on your junk is quite good. I share it regularly to help people avoid back injury. Yes, you guys, in order to not hurt yourself when you're rowing, sit on your junk. Sit forward on your sit bones, sit on your nuts, but don't actually sit on your nuts. You know what I mean? Let's see here. What else? I rode my 700th row house class this week. Wow, that's incredible. 4.25 million lifetime meters. That is awesome, man. Keep up the great work. That is fantastic. Even just to be in the million meter club is a huge feat. So, congrats on that. Justin, haven't posted in a bit, but I appreciate you. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I've been missing your content. It's again as a fellow guitarist myself. I mean, your stuff is so inspirational. But at least you got all those old vids to go back and reminisce on. I will very often go back and rewatch them, and I will confess I've very often spent time retuning my guitar to try to create some melodic lines like you do because of your videos. So, looks like we just got another follower on Twitch. It's Chandler. Chandler5. I remember Chandler5. Chandler would followed my old Twitch page over 3 years ago, and yet here he is again. Hey, man, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Wow, you guys, I was thinking I was just going to turn on YouTube and we were just going to watch YouTube videos and react together, but you guys have all the questions. So this is really cool. It means a lot. I really like talking to you guys, and yeah, I haven't gone live in forever. So hopefully we can make this more of a regular thing. I really enjoyed streaming when I did it, but I was just playing a bunch of video games, and I want to stream for more of, not just for me, but for all of us, where we can all kind of watch and learn things together and have a good time with it. So anywho, Debbie, you are, I think you meant to say such a kind man, but you said suck a kind man. That's inappropriate. Just kidding. But I know what you meant. You're very sweet, Debbie. Thank you very much. I do my best, just trying to help spread some positivity. So, Posting McLaren says, did you do any specific exercises to grow taller when you were younger? I did not. In fact, I was not a very fit kid growing up. I mean, I played basketball recreationally, but that was kind of it. I didn't do anything crazy. And definitely didn't do any exercises that would make me grow taller. But I did eat a lot. So that is one thing, is I definitely always was eating. But I think it's because I grew really tall really fast. I got to 6'8" by the time I was like, I don't know, I was 6'8" when I was like 16. And I was like I was less than 180 pounds. Like it was disgusting. But so I just grew really fast really early on. Made playing basketball really hard too, because I was a tall kid, but I had no bulk to me. So I would get like pushed out of the key by like shorter guys that were just built more. But I also didn't take it upon myself to like learn to lift weights or anything. So back in the day, I used to complain about being lanky, but as a grown-up now, I make everything my fault. So looking back, I'm like, yeah, that's my fault. I didn't try to bulk up or get stronger. I was just sitting in my room playing video games. So whatever, it's all in the past. If basketball had worked out, rowing wouldn't have. And I love that I was on the rowing team in college, and it's literally led to like my career. So I wouldn't change anything. But a good question. I don't think there are exercises you can do to make yourself taller realistically. So let's see here. How can I start liking burpees? You don't have to ever like them. Sometimes it's okay to do things that we don't like. I don't like meal prepping or I mean, I guess I like cooking food sometimes, but there's a lot of times where I don't like cooking my food. It'd be so much easier to just order it. Just like it'd be so much easier to not do the burpees. But you do it anyway. So, if they're part of your regular program, just keep repping them out, get them done because they're good for you. But remember, burpees are not like this end-all, be-all. Oh, Cool Maker, 2299. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that, Cool Maker. Some things you just won't like. But we do things that we need to do. But you don't need burpees. So, I don't know what your routine is. Jamlin56 says, really appreciate all the reminders about good form. Thanks, Jamlin. I try my best. It is important to have good form with anything exercise related because we don't want to get hurt. That's like the biggest bummer ever when we're in a fitness journey is getting hurt from something that could have been easily prevented. So, no problem. I love making videos about that stuff. So, Zethian says, my fave rowing evangelist. Thanks. There's so many good rowing content creators out there and rowing guys. I don't know. Like Shane from Dark Horse is great. Cam, like the rower for Great Britain. Cam's content is so good. He's the rowing guy right now, I think. Yeah, he's awesome. There's so many good rowing creators out there, though. It's really cool to see that space growing. Only one G Mass says, love the content and your enthusiasm is awesome. Need to catch your posting before I take my next class. Your recent post about shoulders was super helpful. Hey, I'm glad you thought so. I post every night before the next day's Orange Theory class, so keep that in mind. I always post usually around this time, actually. I meant to post before I went live, but I forgot. But usually check around this time, the early evening on the West Coast time for US, and that's usually when I post, so. Adil says, your content is legit. Thanks, man. Means a lot. Hopping over to the YouTube comments here. Marty Party, 5'10 girl, tall girl. Yes, you are a tall girl. That's awesome. Starting rowing in January and still going strong. I love your videos on technique. Well, thanks, Marty. Keep up the great work. You're killing it. 5'10 is awesome. I'm sure you're rocking it. My girlfriend is 6'2". And so, tall girl power. You guys are awesome. So that's really cool. Rosa says my best time on 200 meters was 41 seconds. I have not been able to do it again. Well, Rosa, with 200-meter rows, the row is so short, so sprinty, it's hard to improve on on short distances. Think about if you were trying to see how fast I could run from here to the door. Like, that's such a short distance. You know, I clock in 4.1 seconds. It's going to be hard to get faster than that significantly. It's much easier to get better at longer distances. So don't get too wrapped up on not being able to break certain barriers. The shorter the distance, the harder it is to break those barriers. So don't be too hard on yourself. N545CA says, you've been immeasurably helpful in helping me achieve my 2K PR this year. At 57 years of age, I love the rower. Thank you so much. Well, N, thank you so much for saying that. That is awesome. Keep up the great work. It's never too late to get into rowing. So I'm glad you're having a good time with your rower and making personal bests like that. That is so awesome. Sweet. Wow, this multi-chat thing is pretty cool. It's kind of hard to balance all of these things, all these chats all at once. You guys are so cool and asking questions and such. So I'm doing my best though. I feel like I need more water. Steve Liberty says, I'm 63 and relatively new to rowing. I was wondering if 3.5 miles an hour is a good place for a portable rowing machine. Oh, there's no such, well, 3 miles per hour on a rower, first off, is pretty odd. And yeah, that's a bit of a weird way to track speed. I would recommend tracking with either watts or pace per 500 meters or split per 500 meters. So I don't actually know. I can't compute that math in my head. I'm used to rowing off of pace per 500 in watts. So I don't know. And also, with a good pace, though, there's no such thing as that. It's all relative to you. That's like saying, if you're running, is running at 5 miles per hour a good pace? I don't know. The marathon runners can run at 11 miles per hour for 2 hours. Is that a good pace? Do you know what I mean? It's all relative. So there's no, like, right or wrong answer to that. So, anywho. That is the bottom of... Oh, Rosa? Yeah, no problem. Let's go back to the Instagram comments here. Let's see what's up. Gene says, thanks so much for your content. Relatively newbie to Orange Theory. 53 years old and slowly getting better. Always find me thinking of your tips in class. Well, thanks, Gene. That means a lot. Thank you. You know what I realized I need, you guys? I need to get a second monitor. That's what I need. So that way I can, like, organize the chats. Maybe I need 4 monitors. Because right now I'm just kind of clicking between windows. For those of you that are watching on Instagram, it probably looks a little weird because you're seeing this vertical version of like myself on top and then my web page below that. But the web page is supposed to be a YouTube video, but I'm on Instagram reacting to myself. So it's kind of creating this like mirror effect. Anyway, thanks for being patient and cool about it all, you guys. Anyway. Sofa Howl, what? Started Orange Theory 2 months ago. Your videos have helped me so much, and they always make me smile. Yay. I've doubled my all-out wattage, and rowing feels so much better. Hell yeah. Keep up the good work. That is so cool. That's so great. I'm so happy. Things like that make my day. Because we've never met in real life, but we've had a positive impact. That's so cool. It's so awesome. I am an elite rower, and your videos to learn how to row. Thanks for breaking down the stroke better than anyone online. Thanks, man. That means a lot. Thanks. First off, I hope all is well. And yeah, just try to explain things that are as simple as possible. That's the only goal. No need to overcomplicate it. So that means a lot, man. Does your Orange Theory do Tornado Tuesdays? We do not do Tornado Tuesdays. But the quick rotation workouts are fun. Sometimes they just pop up in the normal schedule of workouts, and I really, really like those. Can't seem to get splat points since we're rotating so much. I hope you know what I'm going to say here, or maybe you don't know what I'm going to say, but you just need to go harder. You need to row harder. You need to run faster. So if you're not getting splat points running at whatever you're running at, let's say 6 miles per hour, 4 miles per hour, whatever it is, take that number and add a mile per hour to it. And go. Then your heart rate's going to be higher, and it's going to be harder, and you're going to get your minutes of high intensity work done. That's always the answer. If your heart rate is not getting high enough, you're not going hard enough. And yes, there are longer breaks during those transitions, sure, but that means you just have to go harder. And you're not going to fly off the treadmill because you're not going to let that happen. Stay on the treadmill, pump your arms, and go. Hope that makes sense. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to be honest. Because, my dad's an engineer, and I think he did a really good job teaching me growing up that there are just answers to things. So it's like, okay, I'm not getting enough splat points. I'm not getting my heart rate high enough. What's the answer? Go harder. That gets your heart rate up. You got this. Ponte says, my favorite Jim Carrey. I've been seeing the Jim Carrey thing, like GYM, like the gym. I've been seeing that a lot recently. It's pretty funny. I like that. My best friend's sister is actually Jim Carrey's assistant, though, in real life. As coincidental as that is actually true, but I have not met him before. But also, I got the Jim Carrey reference ever since I started YouTube, and actually, I had hardly seen any Jim Carrey movies at all when I started making content and kind of doing what people think are impersonations. But it was honestly just me being myself. I wasn't trying to impersonate him or anything like that. So, I don't know. I think it's my own thing, but I don't try to be like Jim Carrey, if that makes sense. Is rowing in Zone 2 a decent equivalent to running in Zone 2? It 1000% is. If you want to get fast at rowing, do lots and lots and lots of hours of rowing in Zone 2. Absolutely. Opinions on the Galloway run-walk-run method for long distances. I actually don't know what that is, Carrie, so I'll have to take a look at that. I don't have an opinion on that because I don't know what that is. So I'll have to look into that. Thanks for suggesting. Rebecca says, favorite gyms in LA. Oof, I don't know. Oh, there's a motorcycle coming by. Favorite gyms in LA, I only went to a couple. The LA Fitness that was in Burbank was awful. They were sleazy, wouldn't allow me to cancel my membership when I was leaving. And I'm a I don't know, there's so many hoops to go through. So trashy LA Fitness, was not a fan there. But the 24-hour fitness in Burbank was really good. I really liked that gym. That was good. Aaron says, I'm a coach in Napa. Hey, neighbor. Want to come do a row clinic in our studio? We can take you wine tasting afterwards. Aaron, that sounds like fun. That actually might be something we could get together. Shoot me a DM and maybe we can figure something out for that. Posting McLaren says, where did you get your PT degree from? Well, so PT, personal training, people don't get degrees for personal training. You get a certification, but mine's just with the American Council on Exercise, or ACE. So it's one of the more, kind of popular ones. But I also do have a Bachelor's of Science degree in exercise biology that I got from University of California, Davis, or UC Davis. And I graduated in 2016, so I've had it for a while now. But I was lucky enough to go into college, knowing what I wanted to do. I mean, I didn't think I was going to be doing social media stuff so much, but I did know that I wanted to be in the fitness space in some way. So it all worked out. Somehow. A lot of people changed their majors. I was able to just do this the whole time, which was cool. So, George says, you kill it so hard. George, Coda says, why are you short? Sarcasm. A lot of people say sarcasm is funny. I don't find a lot of sarcasm funny. But I don't know. I'm not a huge... I feel like it's really hard to make me laugh really hard. My close friends make me laugh like crazy, but I don't watch a lot of things that make me woo, that's funny, woohoo, hardly ever. And a lot of sarcasm stuff just doesn't make me laugh. So, I don't know why I'm so short. Ha ha ha. Wasn't trying to be mean. I'm just saying I'm not going to fake laugh for you. George says he's so dreamy. Thanks, George. Charlotte says, how did you meet your girlfriend? We actually met a long time ago. We met in 2017. And we actually met at the Orange Theory gym. So, long time. Bert Kubaksky says, epic. Keep it up. Great work. Thanks, Bert. Have you seen people really transform their bodies on Orange Theory? Lakabegu? Absolutely. Absolutely. Boy, there's always one member from my first studio in Natomas that really comes to mind. and her name is Elizabeth. And she just, I mean, this woman just turned her life around with Orange Theory. And she started doing other workouts outside of it too, but Orange Theory was kind of the catalyst for her. And yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few people make life-changing transformations with Orange Theory. But most people just make moderate transformations that they can just kind of keep and sustain. So whatever keeps you active and keeps you coming back, that's what's most important. So yeah. Do you have any advices for IT band recovery? Yes, Sart. I don't have anything specific for that. I've heard a lot of back and forth stuff about the IT band, and I'm leaning more towards the theory and thought that the IT band is not something that needs to be constantly like loosened up or rolled out. I mean, it's a big stretch of connective tissue on the outsides of your legs, and it seems like that connective tissue is there to kind of be stiff and keep things in place. Now, if it's causing you problems, especially with something like running, if you're running in Brooks or Hoka's or, you know, run-of-the-mill Nike shoes, you're probably running with bad form, and that can be leading to your issues too. So try to spend some time running on grass barefoot for a little bit, so that way you're not on the pavement, but you can actually kind of teach your body how to naturally start to run. Or get your running form looked at. You can sign up for a running form review with my close friend, Coach Dex. So Coach Dex757 on Instagram. He will help you with your running. He also posts great advice for that. So if you feel like that's what's causing your issues, check out his stuff. Hope that helps. Thanks for the question, man. All right, let's see here. Maru Painkiller says, what OTF studio are you coaching at? I coach at Orange Theory Midtown, Sacramento. George says, we could be playing WoW right now. We absolutely could be playing WoW right now. George is one of my close friends, and we play a lot of World of Warcraft together. I know most people are always shocked when I say that, but I'm actually a pretty big medieval fantasy video game nerd guy. So love me some World of Warcraft, that's for sure. Jungjung827 says, hi, I tried your rowing tips. I feel it more on the right spots now. Thank you. Awesome. Keep up the good work. Way to go. I'm glad they could be helpful. That's so good. Sanchez says, I've learned so much from your posts. Thank you. You're welcome, Sanchez. Keep it up. Iron Mermaid 559. That's a cool handle. I like that. Every Orange Theory I go to, I always get compliments on my rowing, and it's all because of you when I went to Natomas. Oh, awesome. I can't see who you are, but I know I would recognize you right away if I knew who this was. But I'm so glad that all the coaching was helpful. Yay. Let's see. Are you still happy you left LA? That's from Matt. I am very happy I left LA. It was not for me. At least not right now. Like, it's just not, it wasn't for me. I thought it was a change I needed, but it turns out it wasn't. And there's a few like really happy things I had from my experience in LA. My acting class was really good. I loved the people in my acting class for the most part. There were some toxic people though, with like one person specifically who was like, whoa, bad, toxic. My experience playing beach volleyball on the South Bay, especially with my good buddy, fellow tall guy Alex, his friendship really meant a lot down there, and playing volleyball with him every week was like a huge highlight of living down there. And then my roommates that I moved in with for my last kind of stint in LA, Kevin and Elizabeth, they're the sweetest couple and some of my greatest friends. I mean, they're so awesome. They were a huge highlight of that too. That's kind of like all the my favorite stuff from LA that I do miss. Bark says, love your training tips. You've helped this 6'2" lanky dude get a smooth row. Nice job, man. Keep it up. That's awesome. Why lift your heels on a long row but not on a short row? So, Terry, the reason why is because on a short row, like 200 meters, max power the row is so short, it's going to be over in such a short amount of time. You can generate more power and more force by taking more strokes faster and harder shorter and harder than longer, like just because the interval is so short. As soon as you start getting past 200 meters, for most people and for elite people, past 500 meters, like we're talking like high caliber rower individuals, they can keep that short heels planted form to up to 500 meters. But once you get past that, it's the hard quick strokes. You can't sustain that for a couple minutes. It's impossible. So you want to row long and efficient for however long your row is. If you're rowing a 2,000 meter row, you can't row short, quick, fast strokes for 5 to 7 minutes nonstop. But you can for 30 seconds, and that's why. Hope that makes sense. We'll have to look at some videos for that kind of stuff. Robert says OTM for BIS. For my non-gamers out there, BIS means best in slot when you're getting items and gear for your characters in games. Cool. A lot of people just joining in. My gym had an auction with signed photo of Jim Carrey and no one bought it. That's that's really funny. Nice. Let's go ahead and head back. I'm gonna head back to the YouTube comments real quick and see what's up. Looks like Albert says your running tip of knees forward changed it all for me. Knees forward, interesting. I think you mean just like pulling up your foot and not like knee driving. I hope that's what you meant. I'm glad that was really helpful though. Justin says, thank you so much for your content. Currently on the 4th run of Row 20. Justin, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you like the Row 20 program. I'm so happy I was able to put that up on YouTube for free for everyone. And I'm glad so many people have checked it out. So that makes me really happy to hear. Let's see here. Justin says, also 51 years old, 6'3", finally got the Concept 2 for Christmas. Great purchase. Awesome. That is absolutely a good buy. I'm glad you got that. I'm glad you're liking it. Rosa says, if you were to pick the best exercise for shoulders, what would that be? The best exercise for, well, if you're talking about just kind of upper body pushing muscles in general, to like balance out with rowing, you're probably best off with an incline dumbbell press. So if you set an incline to 30 or 45 degrees, you're going to get really good muscle development of your shoulders and your upper chest as well. So you're kind of getting a better bang for your buck with an incline press than you would with a standing shoulder press, which I guess would be my other option if you're going strictly for shoulders. So try one of those two out. Aubrey says, I'm a huge fan. I literally love you. I've made so much progress since finding you. Thanks so much. Oh, Aubrey, you're so sweet. Thank you. I'm glad. That means a lot. I know we've never met in real life, but I'm glad that that's been helpful for you. So thank you so much for saying that. Those words really mean a lot. Keep up the good work. Woo, guys, I need some water real quick. I'm going to get up. I hope I'm not leaving a sweat mark on my blue shorts. I'm just going to grab some water real fast. I'm drinking tap water. Don't judge me. All right. Let's get back to the comments. Matt says, I'm 40 and I need to lose 50 pounds. Where do I even start? Matt, what you need to do is you need to start by trying to first get a little active, more like as many. Sorry, real quick. I'm watching the stream playback and I see my two kitties, my two cats, just chilling there on the bed. It's really funny. So first off, with you should start trying to get a little bit of activity going as many days a week as you can. And that just starts by walking. Like, honestly, man, with 50 pounds to lose, if you can get out and go walk for 30 to 40 minutes every other day, that's going to be a huge start. Usually when we have over 50 pounds to lose, there's also just some very easy things to start cutting out from our daily food and drink intake. So if you're someone who's drinking sweetened beverages like sodas and you haven't switched over to diet sodas that are low calories, like you should absolutely do that. Better to not drink any sodas at all, but even a simple switch like that would make a huge deal. So taking out the sweetened beverages. I don't know if you drink sweetened coffees, but you know, those hyper sweet coffees pack a ton of calories in them. Cutting those things out. Alcohol is a huge thing. Alcohol calories, they add up very quickly. You know how easy it is to down a beer. I didn't mean to swear, sorry. It's freaking easy to do. And so cutting out things like that is already going to start making a huge difference. But if you really want to take control of that, it's time to start better understanding your nutritional intake. So I'm trying to offer up more coaching spots for nutrition coaching where we can really analyze our diet, where we are, and get us set up for something sustainable. I'm already working with a handful of individuals right now who are doing awesome and seeing progress, and so it gets me really motivated to work more on one-on-one with individuals. But we need to start cutting out the crap from what we're eating and drinking, and we need to start moving every day. And if you're saying you're not eating a bunch of crap, you know, we got to be really 100% honest with ourselves. That is one thing with coaching that I think is a little different than what people might think online. Because I come off all goofy and stuff online, and I am a goofy dude, but I'm all about personal accountability. I'm all about saying, like, it's like when things happen to us, like when we're in a situation, we put ourselves in that situation. And while that's a tough pill to swallow, when it's your fault that you're here where you are now, that also means that you have the complete power to change things and make things better. Like, not all hope is lost. It's not, oh, well, there's too many things out of my control, I guess I give up. It's like, no, you're totally in control. You're in control of how we got here, and you're in control of how we move forward. So if you have more specific, if you want to maybe get into some one-on-one coaching, shoot me a DM, shoot me a message on Instagram, or through email, the email button on Instagram too. You can click that and send me an email, and we can discuss if you want to do some personal coaching. So how often do you recommend doing Orange Theory if you also do strength training? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to bulk up, then 1 Orange Theory a week, maybe, for the cardio. Outside of that, you don't want to be doing more than that because you're probably going to never bulk up. If you're just trying to keep your joints strong and healthy and get a little bit stronger, then maybe 2 or 3 Orange Theories if you're strength training 2 or 3 times a week. But you hardly need any Orange Theory if you're trying to get bulked up. Orange Theory is not for bulking up at all. So something to keep in mind. What made you pick Orange Theory as a place to work? When I was first getting into Orange Theory, I was on Indeed.com, and it said it was paying a lot of money per hour, and I was a fresh college graduate, and I looked up Orange Theory, and it had rowing machines, and I went, I think this might be the place for me. Because I had just come off of 4 years of being on the crew team. I was making YouTube videos about rowing technique. And if there's anything that I knew being a personal trainer at the time as well, is that most trainers don't know anything about rowing. So I figured, well, if I can get into an Orange Theory gym, I can probably provide a lot of value with teaching the coaches proper rowing form, having actual experience on a rowing team, while also helping out the members. Like, I just knew it was going to be a good fit. So I'm glad I went with that. But then I just loved it so much. I loved it way more than one-on-one training. The group fitness stuff is so good, especially someone who is like sitting alone a lot of the time, editing YouTube videos. Having that group interaction was super important for my mental health, and feeling like I was, because I get all these really sweet, kind comments from people online, which is awesome. But I didn't, there's only a certain feeling you get from seeing these comments. You can't replace it entirely with the actual feel you get with helping people in person. And only people who have been doing stuff online, I think, can comprehend that, because you don't really know until you're kind of in it. But that's how I feel about that. And that's why I'm still with Orange Theory. I just love doing it. I do not do it for the money, that's for sure. I can make a ton more money if I focus more on my business. That's why I coach only kind of as few classes as possible, just to give me that social time. But I still just love it. So Jill says, what are your favorite hip flexor exercises? My favorite hip flexor exercise of all time is probably a straight leg knee tuck, or like if you're hanging from a bar and doing a knee tuck exercise, instead of tucking your knees, keeping your legs straight and lifting your legs up, or doing one at a time. That one is killer for getting strong hip flexors, and you get your lower abs working on that one too. It's a really good combo exercise. I would say that's my favorite. Jill, thanks for saying hey. HYC girl says, I love the comedy. Thanks. I try to keep it interesting. It's hard. It's a tough gig these days, trying to keep the attention of people online. My content style has adapted a lot over the years. If you go back to my early videos on YouTube, they're nothing like what I'm doing now as far as like these more high energy, explosive videos. And I'm not saying like I'm faking that high energy, but you do have to like turn it up to get people. You got to keep people engaged. Thousands of people are making fitness videos all the time, and I want you to watch mine. So I have to try to keep your attention. MRTJ Rock says, you are the best OTF instructor. Well, thank you. I don't know who this is, but if you haven't taken my class, I don't think you have the right to say that, but I do appreciate the compliment. But I also do think I do really fun classes. So if you ever get a chance to come take my class, come take it. I think you'd have a fun time. Mel E says, never have rowed, but all of this chat makes me want to. Where/how do I start? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, just a little side tangent. It's an interesting crossroads I've come to online because I've got like my YouTube audience and my Instagram audience, both of which are about the same size, and both of which are like two totally different demographics. Like the people on YouTube know me as like the rowing guy, but the people on Instagram know me as kind of more like the group fitness, Orange Theory, general fitness type guy. So very often things will happen where people don't know that I started off as like only the rowing guy when I first started making content. I've only been doing Instagram for a few years now, but I started back on YouTube. But as far as starting with rowing, I would start by checking out your local gym and seeing if they have a rower. Most gyms have a rowing machine, and if you bring your phone with you, find a little place to put your phone, put in some Bluetooth headphones, go to YouTube, type in Training Tall Follow Along Row. You'll see a whole bunch of different free follow along rowing workouts with me, and just try to follow along with me. I coach you along the way, and I think you'd have a really fun time with it. So just do it for once a week and see how you like it. Hope that helps. All right, how many days a week should you do Orange Theory if you also do strength training? Emily, so like I was saying earlier, it all depends on what your goal is specifically. If you are trying to bulk up, you need to be doing as few Orange Theories as possible. And if you're just trying to overall maintain a balance of strength and, kind of the general fitness that you get from Orange Theory, then maybe 2 Orange Theories a week and 3 strength training days a week would probably be pretty good. So, Vimal says, hey, Austin, watching from Borneo. I'm going to sound so uncultured. I don't know where that is. I'll have to look that up. Borneo. I'm going to look that up right now, actually. Borneo. An island in Southeast Asia. Oh, cool. So, okay, right between Asia and Australia. That is awesome. Hey, well, thanks for saying hey. Isn't that cool? The internet's so awesome. Annabellum says, can you upload a video to prevent shin splints? With shin splints, it's going to come down to just running properly and not getting out of your crappy shoes. So again, if you're wearing Brooks, Hoka's, Nikes, Adidas, like that's the first mistake. That's probably what's leading to it, because those type of shoes allow you to get away with crappy running form unless you've been actively working on your running form, which most people have never thought about their running form in their entire life. So you need to get out of those really supportive shoes, get into more minimal shoes, slow yourself way down, and really try to practice and study some running form. Check out some of my running videos or some of Coach Dex 757's running videos, or look up the pose method, which is the philosophy that I use when coaching all of the running that I do in my videos. That should all help you get started with running properly to prevent shin splints. Bengal says, watching from India. Awesome. That is so sick. That is so cool. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support, and it's good to hello from across the ocean. I have a hip replacement, and I row in a master's rowing program. You have me thinking I should add running. What do you think of running with hip replacement? It's all gonna depend on, I'm not too well versed in hip replacements and running as far as like the safety and efficacy of that. However, I do know that as a rower, running is not necessary if you want to be a good rower. You can find a YouTube video of watching Olympic rowing men from the USA team run around a track, and their mile times suck, but they're Olympic rowers. So they don't necessarily translate in that way. If you want to get really good at rowing, you need to spend a lot of time on the erg and on the water, and only start running if you feel like you would really like to add that in there. But I would probably consult with a physical therapist or your doctor first, because I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% sure about, and I'm not 100% sure. Thanks for the question, though. Let's see here. I don't even have a scroll bar on this Instagram chat. I don't even know how far down on the scroll chat we are. But I do know is we've got Andy dropping a little cat emoji or a little cat icon on YouTube. And Aubrey saying, the way you make your content is so much better than anyone else I've found. The way you explain things really helps with understanding, and you make it entertaining as well. The energy is awesome. Well, thanks, Aubrey. That means a lot. I try. I don't know. I just try to think of, like, how can I make this understandable? There's no real magic outside of that. However, there has been a lot of times where I'm editing videos and I realize like I'll be talking about a subject and I'm just kind of going on and on and on without actually saying the point I'm trying to get across. So when you look at YouTube content, it's all edited down to be as like concise as possible. And I think sometimes when I'm talking, like in these live chats or even person to person, I think I have a tendency to ramble on sometimes, which I'm working on. I also fill gaps in speaking with ums and uhs because I feel like there can't be any pause. And even right now, I'm thinking about it, and now I'm not umming or uhing, but I am rambling. Thank you for the comment, though, Aubrey. That's very, very sweet of you. I will continue to do my best to put out understandable, fun content. Annabellum says, what stretching exercises do you recommend for shin splints? So with shin splints, it depends on which part of, because shin splints can happen in a couple different ways for folks. Sometimes it's actually affecting the shin muscle, what we call the tibialis anterior. And if that's the case, you want to try to do some pointing your toe down stretches. So if you think of your foot, like if this is your leg and this is your foot, point your foot down like this and push it against the surface to stretch the top of your foot. You're going to feel that really stretch the top of your shin. That's going to feel nice. If it's the more of that deep calf muscle you're feeling, which is also sometimes referred to as shin splints, with that, you might want to check out a slant board. Go to Amazon, type in slant board, and it's essentially a calf stretcher. Standing on that feels so good, and that's going to help stretch out those deep calf muscles, and that should help too. But stretching isn't always going to address these issues. So again, if you're getting shin splints from running, it's probably because you're running too fast with not the best form. So slow down. Take your time, build up a little bit more sustainably. Don't go so hard, and make sure you're in shoes that aren't allowing you to get away with crappy form. Hope that makes sense. Connie says, I'm 72 and love Orange Theory and your helpful videos. 72? Connie, you're killing it. That's awesome. I hope to be just like you when I'm 72. I am 30, in case anyone was wondering. Oh, Tom says, Austin's personal coaching is the best way to achieve your personal goals. Tom, thanks, man. Tom, I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize you were on Instagram. But yeah, Tom is someone I've been working one-on-one with recently in prep for the Dry Tri, the Orange Theory Triathlon, where over the course of 5 weeks, we got this guy. You guys are going to be blown away, but into the 33-minute mark, 33 and change for the Dry Tri, which if you've done the Dry Tri before, you know just how fast that is. Tom worked incredibly hard, stuck to the game plan, and we shaved off well over a minute from his previous Dry Tri and a personal best from him of all time, which was awesome. So that was really fun. Tom, good to see you, man. I can't wait for our recap chat. And Dumbella says, where have you been? I haven't seen you. Well, I've been making videos. Put out stuff every day still, Monday through Friday for the most part. It's funny how the algorithms work like that, though, where after a couple days of you not seeing the videos, all of a sudden Instagram doesn't think that you want to watch anything from me. It's funny how that is, but yeah, I'm here, and I've always been here. I've never left. So there's that. Let's see here. Any other chats over on the YouTube? If I go over to multi-stream... I don't know if I'm streaming to Facebook or not. I don't know. Morg, what's up? Came here to say you're doing great, sweet. Oh, Morg, you're so sweet. It's so good to see you. Thanks for dropping by in the chat. Jacqueline says, I'd love to take your class. Well, if you ever come to Sacramento, let me know, and I'll let you know what my schedule is, and you can come take class. Tammy says, are you still doing your bodybuilding show? No, I'm not. I got into the bodybuilding thing for a little bit, and the more I was kind of getting into the space, the more I realized this isn't for me, especially being a tall guy. Not that I can't fill out my frame, but it's such an absurd amount of eating that I have to do already to maintain my body the way it is, which is just a little over 230 pounds, by the way. Most people are surprised to hear that I weigh that much, but that's what happens when you're tall is you weigh a lot. So weighing over 230 and still being called skinny on the internet all the time. You know, if I was to really take the bodybuilding stuff seriously, and natural bodybuilding, you know, drug-free bodybuilding, I mean, there's not a ton of wiggle room there. Natural bodybuilding in general, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a meme. You know, some people do it. There's a lot of fake natties out there, though. And I'm not someone who's going to be taking performance-enhancing drugs. Like, I don't want the small balls. I don't want the side effects. I don't want to lose my hair. I'm not obsessed with having big, huge, like, glamorous muscles like that aren't functional. I'm much more into holistic health and, you know, moving well and feeling good. And I feel really good when I'm 230. I do not feel good when I'm 240 or 250 when I'm bulking up. I don't feel good. I don't feel athletic. And just walking around with a bunch of showy muscles, I don't know, man. It's just not my personality. Like, that's not my thing. So it's going to be a nah for me. I did have fun vlogging though. However, that was a shit. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to cuss. I don't want to swear on live streams, but that was a crap ton of work that I had to do those vlogs. I was pumping out the vlog content, which was fun, but it was just a ton of work too. I didn't want to. That was hard to sustain with everything else. So, M. Vin says, I enjoy your content, and I say, now do it with you. That's funny. That's great. I'm glad you like that saying. Memel says, fun. I'm excited to try. Thanks. You're welcome. I hope you have a good time with it. Check out the YouTube. Just look up Training Tall YouTube, rowing, follow along. You'll see it right away. Let's see. Watching you from from the Borean Tundra. Hell yeah, you are, George. I can't believe you guys are still watching. You're cracking me up. K Vance says, when do I do a long row? I rub my tailbone raw. How do I correct my form to prevent this? The tailbone thing is an issue for some folks. You might want to look into getting some ass cream. Not for your butthole, but for like the butt crack. There is actually like cream to help with the chafing that can happen there for some people. I personally don't experience that, and that just might be the option for you. You might want to look into getting a seat pad as well. If you go on Amazon and go to like rowing seat pads, there's some good options for you there too. So try those out. I'm sorry you deal with that, but I hope it feels better. What shoes do you recommend? Minimal brand names. That's from Andmar4. So if we're talking about for shoes, a good transitional shoe is to look into Altras. A-L-T-R-A. Altra. Good running shoe that has a little bit of support. Some of their shoes are really, really cushioned, but try to get the ones that don't have like a ton of cushion. But what's nice about those shoes is they're one of the few popular running shoe brands that actually has a wide toe box. So they allow your toes to spread out and work. And when your toes can spread out more, your foot can function better, which helps you better distribute the force that you land with when you're running. So Altras are really great for that. For casual shoes, go to Amazon and look up Wittin. W-H-I-T-I-N. Super cheap, very nice casual minimal shoes with no support, nice wide toe box, and get you used to having no support in your shoes. Which, by the way, when you first get into those types of shoes, your feet and ankles get sore as hell because you've been going your whole life having your foot constricted in your shoe. And for the first time ever, you're making your foot actually use its musculature and the tissues down there are actually moving and working. Your feet and ankles get crazy sore. So I don't recommend running in those shoes right away. Use those type of minimal shoes for walking around and going like on errands or little nighttime dinner walks or what have you. That's a good brand there. And then for training shoes, for lifting weights and cross training, I really like the brand Xero. Xero with an X. X-E-R-O. So check that brand out. Those are awesome. And yeah, I would start with there. But you guys, I'm sweating up a storm. It's about dinner time. And I want to say I had a really fun time talking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining on my first stream back in forever. I'd really like to get back into doing these streams where we can maybe do some reacting content to some videos and just have a good time and chill together and make these streams a little bit longer too. Really enjoy this stuff, but my voice is getting tired, and I have to coach tomorrow morning. So I'm going to head out for the night, but thank you guys so much again for watching, and for everyone on YouTube, for the follows on Twitch, and for all the nice comments here on Instagram as well. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your night.